Alright, hello, I hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to be doing some air-to-ground attacks with the Harrier, and we'll be using a combination of the AGM-65Fs along with some GBU-12s. And we'll use the laser pod to target them. So, got that set up. Now I'm just going to fire it up the aircraft. Just turning on the radars here, setting the bingo fuel level, turning on the flare dispenser, and our countermeasures. Aligning the INS. And now we got the engine turning on. Setting the fuse for the weapons. Turning on the master arm. And we're ready for takeoff. Now that our weapon is ready, we can either use the IMAVs, the AGM missiles, by using this slew of DMT to target them, which is basically just the TV from this nose cone. That's the sensor at the very tip of the nose of the plane. What we're going to do is use the targeting pod first. So we'll switch to air-to-ground mode, and we'll choose the bombs that we want to use. We're going to go to the T-pod, turn it on, choose the designated target. At this point we can slew it to where we want to target. Just make sure it's the sensor of interest, or soy. Alright, we're going to be looking close to the runway here for some targets. There's one. So we'll just start here with this fella. We set the targeting pod to point track, so it will stay locked onto a heat target like a tank or something. Just struggling to try to get this to lock into place. There we go. Now we've got the target locked, and we need to go to the EHSD on the navigation page. Choose designate. Now we can return to our target pod and lock onto the target. Target is now locked, and we're just waiting for the heads-up display to tell us when to drop the bomb, according to this little number right here, which is counting down in the seconds. So we try to maintain a constant airspeed. At around 10 seconds I fire the missile, or I fire the laser, and we just dropped one bomb. So if we did this correctly, we should see a shack here momentarily. And we did. So now to designate another target, you can turn off your laser, make sure that targeting pod is the center of interest, and simply slew to another target nearby. It should show up as just a pretty obvious heat signature. There you go, here's another one. I'll zoom in and then lock onto him. Alright, he's been locked. So we're going to go about 5 to 6 miles away, and then we'll turn into him, drop another bomb. Start firing the laser, and then hold down the bomb pickle, and it'll release at exactly the right time. So now I'm just going to go ahead and begin my orbit. Brake to the left. Keep my airspeed between 3 to 320 for a nice steady orbit. And in a couple seconds we should see a shack on this target. And there you go, that is another successful hit. I'm going to turn off the laser. And we're going to switch to our AGM missiles now, because we're all out of bombs. Now we can switch the EHSD over here onto the right MFD. We don't need quite as much distance from the target initially when targeting with the AGMs. So what we'll do is we'll designate the target from the targeting pod, activate the DMT, using TDC up, target designate control, and we're going to start turning into them. Alright, they're going to show up as really bright dots on this display here. Got 3 little targets right here. As long as I get the cursor right in between them, or right over them, then it'll automatically lock. There we go, we got a lock. Now we're just going to fire one. Repeat the process for another target. There you go, those first two should be getting shacked pretty soon. Let's turn air to ground mode off, and we'll see if we made some successful hits. That's 2 targets destroyed. Alright, now we're going to activate our TACAN, which is going to lead us back to the ship. This is indicating low altitude here. Which I definitely am. I'm over here at about 40 feet off the ground. Oh, that's pretty wild. That's what we're looking like. Trying to keep the nose straight with the rudders. Making slight adjustments to the to the nozzle position. So I can keep my nose in the same attitude, but I can still move forward and backward. Alright, we made it. And that's how we landed. So we're ready for elevation into the deck. Or I guess descent. Well, there you go. That was the Sortie. Turn this thing off now. Checked up.